In this video, we will show 15 books Jordan Peterson thinks everyone should read, so stay tuned for more Jordan Peterson book recommendations. Welcome back to our channel, where we tell you all the unknown facts about the richest people in the world. Now let's get into the video of 15 books that Jordan Peterson thinks everyone should read. Number 1, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. This is the most famous work by clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson. It's one of those books that have made millions of people pick up a book and start reading after years of not doing so. In this book, Peterson delivers his views on life based on his experience as a clinical psychologist and professor. He gives us rules that he thinks everyone should live by, like standing up straight with your shoulders back, treating yourself as you would want to be treated, and making friends who make you better. He gives examples from history and his experience to explain why these rules are important. The thing about this book is that it doesn't just sit on the shelf. It's meant to be used. It has practical advice that can be used right away. If you're looking for something to help you make sense of the world and your place in it, this book might be for you. Number 2, Maps of Meaning, The Architecture of Belief. Maps of Meaning is Peterson's first book and was published in 1999. In this book, he talks about how people make sense of the world and their place in it. He looks at myths, religions, and stories, and how they shape the way we think and behave. Peterson explores how we create meaning and how that meaning shapes our lives. He also talks about the importance of facing pain and suffering, and how it can lead to personal growth. This book is not an easy read, but it is a rewarding one. It is a challenging book that makes you think deeply about the human condition. But if you're willing to put in the effort, it will be worth it. 3. Beyond Order, 12 More Rules for Life. After the success of 12 Rules for Life, it was expected that Peterson's next book would be a continuation of the series. And that's what Beyond Order offers. It builds on the ideas presented in the previous book, but it takes them further. One of the things that makes this book stand out is that it's not just a self-help book. Sure, it has practical advice that can be used every day, but it also goes deeper than that. Peterson talks about the nature of reality and the importance of finding meaning in a chaotic world. He also talks about the importance of facing your fears and the power of the human spirit. This book is for anyone who wants to live a more meaningful life. Number 4, The Essential Jung, A Reader's Guide. C.G. Jung is one of the most important figures in psychology, but his work can be hard to understand. That's where The Essential Jung comes in. This book is a collection of Jung's most important ideas and theories, and it also has helpful notes to make it easier to understand. What's interesting about Jung is that he had a different way of thinking about psychology than Freud. He thought that the unconscious mind wasn't all about sex and aggression, but also about growth and wholeness. This book is a must-read for anyone interested in psychology or spirituality. It's also a great introduction to Jung's work. Number 5, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, or The Monomyth. Joseph Campbell's book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, is a classic for a reason. It's a groundbreaking work that has changed the way we look at stories. Campbell talks about the hero's journey, which is the common pattern that can be found in almost all stories, no matter where they come from. He says that this pattern is part of the human psyche, and that it's what makes stories so powerful. Campbell uses examples from all kinds of stories, from ancient myths to modern movies, to show how the hero's journey works. This book is a must-read for anyone who loves stories, whether you're a writer, a reader, or just someone who loves to watch movies. Number 6, Thinking in Systems, a Primer. Thinking in Systems is a really useful book for understanding how systems work. It's written in a clear and straightforward way, which makes it a good choice for people who are new to the subject. The book covers a lot of ground, including feedback loops, delays, and how systems evolve over time. It also has a lot of examples that help you apply the concepts that are being taught. What makes this book stand out is how it connects ideas from different fields, like ecology, economics, and politics. This book is perfect if you want to better understand the world around you. Number 7, Sapiens, A Narrative of Humanity's Birth and Evolution. Yuval Noah Harari is the author of Sapiens, which is a fascinating look at humanity's past, present, and future. Harari starts his story with the development of Homo sapiens and then follows them through the ages, looking at how they interact with other species and with each other. He also looks at how humans have changed over time and what might happen to them in the future. One of the things that makes Sapiens stand out is how Harari writes. He is able to make complex topics easy to understand, and he does it in a way that is both informative and entertaining. If you're interested in history or science, this book is definitely worth a read. Number 8, Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams. Matthew Walker's book Why We Sleep is a great resource for anyone who wants to learn more about sleep. Walker, who is a professor of neuroscience and psychology at UC Berkeley, covers a lot of ground in this book, including the science of sleep, how much sleep we need, and what happens when we don't get enough sleep. He also talks about how sleep affects our memory, learning, and overall health. What makes this book stand out is that it's very up to date. Walker covers the latest research on sleep, and he also gives practical tips for getting better sleep. If you're someone who struggles with sleep, this book is definitely worth a read. Number 9, The Selfish Gene, Richard Dawkins. The Selfish Gene is a groundbreaking work that has changed the way we think about evolution. Dawkins argues that the gene is the basic unit of life, and that everything else, including the individual organism, is just an extension of the gene. He also talks about how natural selection works and how it leads to the evolution of new species. What makes the selfish gene stand out is that it's very controversial. Dawkins's ideas have been challenged by a lot of scientists and philosophers, but that just shows how important and thought-provoking this book is. If you're interested in evolution or genetics, this book is a must-read. Number 10, The Denial of Death. Ernest Becker's The Denial of Death is a brilliant analysis of how our fear of death shapes our behavior and our culture. Becker argues that all human behavior is motivated by a desire to overcome the anxiety that comes with knowing we are mortal. He also talks about how this fear of death has led to some of our most important cultural and religious beliefs. What makes the denial of death stand out is that it's very insightful. Becker is able to see the connection between our fear of death and all aspects of human behavior. If you're interested in psychology or sociology, this book is definitely worth a read. Number 11, The Righteous Mind. Why Good People Are Divided by Politics and Religion. Jonathan Haidt's book, The Righteous Mind, is a fascinating look at the psychology of morality. Haidt argues that our moral intuitions are shaped by our emotions, rather than our rational thoughts. He also talks about how these emotions can lead to conflict between people who have different moral views. What makes The Righteous Mind stand out is that it's very well researched. Haidt backs up his arguments with a lot of evidence from psychology and neuroscience. If you're interested in morality or politics, this book is definitely worth a read. Number 12, Cosmos by Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan's book Cosmos is a classic for a reason. It's a beautiful and inspiring look at the universe and our place in it. Sagan writes with such passion and wonder that you can't help but feel the same way about the universe. He also does a great job of explaining complex scientific concepts in a way that everyone can understand. If you're interested in space or science, this book is definitely worth a read. Number 13. The Body Keeps the Score. Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. Bessel van der Kolk's book, The Body Keeps the Score, is a groundbreaking work that has changed the way we understand trauma. Van der Kolk argues that trauma is stored in the body as well as in the mind, and that it can affect us in ways that we don't even realize. He also talks about how this trauma can be passed down from one generation to the next. What makes The Body Keeps the Score stand out is that it's very personal. Van der Kolk shares his own experiences with trauma and recovery, which makes the book even more powerful. If you're interested in psychology or trauma, this book is definitely worth a read. Number 14. Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. Susan Cain's book. Quiet is a must-read for anyone who is an introvert. Cain argues that introverts are just as capable as extroverts, but that our strengths are often overlooked in a society that values loudness and outgoingness. She also talks about how introverts can thrive in an extroverted world. What makes Quiet stand out is that it's so well written. Cain is a great storyteller, and she keeps you engaged from beginning to end. Number 15. Man's Search for Meaning. Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, is a powerful look at the human capacity for hope and resilience in the face of terrible suffering. Frankl tells the story of his time in a concentration camp during World War II and how he survived by finding meaning in his suffering. He argues that we can find meaning in any situation, no matter how bad it is. What makes Man's Search for Meaning stand out is that it's so inspiring. Frankl's story is truly amazing, and it gives you hope that you can overcome anything. And that's all for today. Which books do you think everyone should read? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos about the richest people in the world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.